that we stand up, and that's exactly what we're doing here today. Thank you all for coming out. Now, not only do they spend $5 million on lobbyists, but they spent $500,000 through their own political action committee. This corporation has its own PAC to buy off politicians, and that's what they've done with $500,000 so that they will pass these laws and just turn the other way while TSA violates our rights. They're instituting a police state in this free country. They're doing it right before our eyes, and we have got to put a stop to it. So I thank you all for standing strong and standing up against the institution of a police state in America. I want to welcome anybody out here who wants to say something. I'm not going to occupy the mic. I want all of you to occupy it. Come and speak your mind. Babs Warren will go up first.
Our voice is not being heard by these people in government. This is disgusting. I cannot believe that despite the constant cries from our citizens that we said no body scanners, no TSA, that they continue to push this on us. Yes. And like Heather said before, if we want to be secluded from the rest of the country because of these body scanners not being installed, so be it. It's just going to expose the tyranny that this government is oppressing on all of us, all of our states, all of our people. We actually lost one of our states 6 days ago in Tennessee when they installed these checkpoints on the highways in the Tennessee systems. If that remotely even tries to happen here, I can guarantee you the people's voice is going to be heard loud and clear. And we are going to secede and lead the way in showing what a free country looks like. And Texas is that leader.
The slave dome up there. We also have something called nullification interposition, which means we can nullify these federal laws that are unconstitutional. We're here today, and we're going to be in this city council chamber today to let them know how we feel about how they're spending our money on these mouse traps. And that's what we're talking about with these naked scanners. They're mouse traps, and you build a mouse trap, all you get is a smarter mouse. There's always going to be a way around this. So this is just a way to take away our freedoms. I heard a great quote today. Terrorism is a needle, and we're building the biggest haystack in history. And that's exactly what's happening here. How many people know who Michael Chertoff is?
Yeah.
How many of you know that Chertoff means the devil in Russian? Yeah. He was the second head of Homeland Security, and he's personally and financially invested into these scanners. So of course, as always, it goes with the lubrication of the money, the lubrication of the power, and then the lubrication of stealing your freedoms. We stood against this groping, and was it too much to ask not to grope our women and our children? Us men, you know, okay, maybe not so bad. But for our women and children, do we actually have to ask you to not put your hands down their pants? I report these stories every day of these TSA agents that are found with kiddie porn on their computers. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, that are found working and taking payments just as they do on the border to get the drugs through. If one of these people are corrupt, then the whole system is corrupt. So we ask you to please stand with us. Stand with us. Let's let Austin be the example. Let's let Texas be the example that the rest of the country follows. Let's make us stand here. Woo! Stand. Freedom is the answer. I don't care what the question is.
Not only have the citizens of Austin said no to these scanners, the airport advisory commissioners have put a resolution and said we don't want these scanners. Did the city council and the mayor listen to them?
No.
That is an absolute outrage. The council members and the mayor are complacent, and I want to know, why does the federal government rule this courthouse? Okay? The CDC is telling them to put fluoride in our water, and they will not take that out. Okay, the TSA and Homeland Insecurity is telling them to put these scanners in, and we don't want them. How come they're not listening to us? This council and this mayor are out of line. They need to all flippin' be replaced.
Hell yeah.
Every single one of them. Not one of them has stood up for us. Are they our representatives? Absolutely not. They all need to be replaced. In May, there's going to be an election for council members and the mayor. Get them out of here.
Yeah. Woo!
Going to Washington, D.C. last week. I went to the Occupy D.C. That was a lot of fun. That thing's pretty well organized, actually. I don't know how many people realize this, But the reason they are going to put these body scanners in is because our city council has been blackmailed by the federal government. That's what it is. It's nothing less, nothing more. It's blackmail. And Leffingwell has an opportunity to do the right thing, the next right thing. But I sent him an email, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, saying, hey, you have an opportunity to do the right thing. We know you won't, but you have an opportunity to do it. This is why we're here. Let's stand up and say, you're blackmailing Austin. You're not just blackmailing Lee
officials and got in their faces about how they are absolute Nazi fascists. That's how they're acting. And the federal government is a total bluff. They are bluffing us. They're doing the same thing they tried to pull with the Representative Simpson's bill, the anti-TSA groping bill. So I just really encourage everybody. I thank you for coming out tonight and standing with us. This is not regular radiation from these scanners. I'm sure everybody's aware. This is ionizing radiation. It accumulates in your body. It doesn't go through you like normal radiation does, and they're just flat out dangerous. Why don't we do like Israel? Israel, the citizens get to keep their dignity. They have little swabs that they just touch their clothes. They have bomb-sniffing dogs that'll be way more effective than these stupid scanners. And we don't have to worry about radiation.
His name is Robert Torn. And he sponsored and brought forth the resolution in the Airport Advisory Committee saying, do not bring these scanners to Austin. This was only a period of 9 months or so ago, so it wasn't that long ago. What the city council did is indescribable. They changed the laws about appointing people to this commission, and they appointed more people that were yes men and yes women, and they flooded the commission with those people. Unfortunately, Mr. Torn is no longer on the commission, so we did not even get a proposal or a proposed resolution at the last hearing a couple weeks ago. So what we need to do is start using the Constitution to defend our rights. It starts with the 10th Amendment and saying the rights not expressly given and delegated to the federal government lies to the states, and this is one. And Texas can do this. We can do this in a small area like Texas. We can stand up and say no more machines, no more radiation on our children. So come join us inside. We're about to have a very interesting and informing hearing. Thanks.